Okay, well, I'm going to be talking about a tool called a social media dashboard, which is a locally developed application. And advance the slide here. So what is the social media dashboard? The first purpose of the dashboard is it's a tool that allows an unlimited number of users to manage both the Twitter and Facebook social media accounts. It does have a second purpose in that it can serve as a situational awareness display and a warning verification resource. And just a couple of quick notes about the dashboard. Each social media dashboard can be customized for each Weather Service office to better suit their forecast area. And as of today, the tool's been utilized by 61 Weather Service offices across 5 Weather Service regions. Just a few terms that I'll be using. The first one is Hootsuite, and it's a popular third-party application that, as far as I'm aware, is being used at each and every Weather Service office to manage both their Twitter and Facebook accounts. So it's pretty widespread. There's several different versions of Hootsuite, but I believe every office is using the free version. The second tool is TweetDeck, which is another application that's being used by Weather Service offices. It's less widespread than Hootsuite, probably because it only manages the Twitter social media account. So for the Twitter, this is a screen capture of the social media dashboard. And you can see it can emulate a lot of the same features that you find in Hootsuite. For our dashboard and our Hootsuite account, we have basically 4 Twitter tabs. One's kind of a general purpose Twitter tab, but we also have it narrowed down to winter weather, thunder, and flooding. So what these tabs will do is that they'll search for certain keywords and hashtags that apply to each one of these topics, and then it will filter them out to tweets that originate from within our forecast area. So the tweets will be delivered in these Twitter streams, and then as an operator, you can click on the tweets, and you can either reply to this person's message or retweet it or set it as a favorite just by clicking on the dashboard. And then if you want to compose and send a message, you just go down to the bottom of the Twitter streams, just about each one, click on it. This Twitter dialog box will appear. You can type in your message, hit the tweet button, and it will send your tweet. For Facebook, it's a little bit different approach. And, I broke down our media market into 3 markets, and just about any Weather Service office can do this. But we have the Charlotte market, the Greenville, Spartanburg, and Asheville market, and the Triad market. And just by totaling up the media Facebook pages likes, you can see that the numbers get pretty large pretty quick. And then you throw in a couple of these weather interest groups. 2 of ours is Ray's Weather, another one is Burke Weather. And just from these dozen or so Facebook pages, you can see a total like of 1.8 million people. And that's in a CWA of about 4.9 million people. So you can roughly see comments, pictures, even videos from potentially 40% of at least our forecast area just from these dozen Facebook pages. And as a contrast, we spent a lot of time training Skywarn spotters, and we have these other contacts. That totals of about 6,700 contacts. And these are great people. They're very dedicated into submitting their train observations to us. But at the same time, with Facebook, you can see those pictures. You can ask questions back and forth, and you can do it just as good during the day as you can at night, when typically we leave our spotters alone after supper time. So for Facebook, under the Facebook selection of the dashboard, what I did is I created these Facebook streams for each news station. So you can quickly survey, see what see what's making news. And then a lot of our media partners are really good at bot posting our warnings. So you can see down here they're mentioning one of our warnings. And if we want to see if anybody's having any flooding reports or asking any questions, or we have questions, all you have to do is click on the tab for this particular Facebook page, and it will launch the page in this full domain. And then using your Facebook account, you can interact with this media page. So it's a real fast way to monitor multiple Facebook pages without having to rely on the news feed. And it's also a great kind of outreach. Just about 1 out of 2 people that you contact and that you're interacting with on one of these media Facebook pages, they end up liking your page. So the office Facebook page. So it's a good way to kind of get out and do some outreach on social media. Another feature that I've learned, just sharing the dashboard with other offices, is that other offices have created basically a social media panel just to monitor their neighboring weather service offices. So in our case, you can see there's Peachtree, Morristown, Blacksburg, Raleigh, and Columbia. So you can view both their Twitter account and their Facebook account from this one display, which is good just to optimize situational awareness. But also being a good neighbor, you can share and retweet some of their social media posts. So there's 6 key advantages of using the social media dashboard, especially with Twitter, above using Hootsuite and TweetDeck. And the first one is that with the social media dashboard, there's no advertising. So you won't see any of these distracting commercial tweets, saying that someone in Seattle is looking for you, or advertising Hootsuite, lecture series anytime you issue a graphic. So, Twitter's noisy enough not to have to sift through commercials. The 5th advantage is that you get better retweets using the dashboard, because it's basically using the Twitter web page. So when you click retweet, the tweet is ready to go. All you have to do is just, confirm retweeting by clicking the button, and it's gone. Hootsuite, with being a third-party application, needs to add this RT and the account name, and then it will show the tweet that you want to retweet. But by doing that, it adds extra characters. So in this case, there's 16 characters that are beyond the 140 character limit on Twitter. So it requires some time to do some editing, and then you can send it. So the dashboard makes retweeting far much easier and faster. The 4th advantage is that you can set the filters so there's no profanity or other not safe for work content to display on the dashboard, which is a pretty good advantage, because you can we use the dashboard as on one of our situational awareness displays. So when you have office tours coming through, you don't have to worry about them being exposed to profanity or other kind of indecent images. And the way that works is that Twitter itself, the users of Twitter, will kind of self-regulate what's out there. So if this picture of this kitten was offensive and somebody flagged this media, well, that flag would prevent it from showing up on the social media dashboard. The 3rd advantage, and this is a pretty big one and saves a lot of time, is that the social media dashboard will display thumbnails of photos of, you can see in this case, Vine videos, YouTube. They can all be displayed within the Twitter streams themselves. When on Hootsuite, all you're provided is a web link that requires you to click on it, let it load, and then, chances are by the time you go through that, it wasn't worth looking at in the first place. So the dashboard does provide you a preview. If you want to see a bigger version of it, you can just click on the picture, and it will display in its full domain, or go to the YouTube page. The second advantage is that the delivery of the tweets is much faster in the dashboard than you would find in Hootsuite. And, depending on your settings on Hootsuite, the dashboard can deliver tweets onto the display as as quick as 8.5 minutes before Hootsuite will. If you crank Hootsuite to the lowest refresh rate, which I believe is 2 minutes, then you're still going to see the tweets being delivered in the dashboard about a half a minute quicker than you will in Hootsuite. So during last winter, I was watching one of our snow streams that was just searching out the word snow, and basically saw about 60 tweets arriving in that Twitter stream before the first one displayed in the Hootsuite stream. So it makes monitoring Twitter a lot easier because they're coming in live, they're being delivered one at a time. When on Hootsuite, it just refreshes every 2 minutes, and then you get like a 60-tweet Twitter delivery. But the number one advantage that the dashboard will allow an unlimited number of users. Everybody in the office can be on the dashboard. There's no login or password. All you do is click on the link, and it launches it. And so there's no limitations at all. But with Hootsuite, using the free version, you're limited to just 2 users. If a third user goes to log into the free account, then it will bump off the first person. And we looked, and this was really the whole genesis behind the idea of creating the dashboards, because we looked into buying more licenses to add a third user, but that was going to be $250 a year. And then, the amount, really gets quite high when you want everybody in the office on it. If you want to get up to 11 users, then that's going to be $18,000 a year. So that's just a lot of money to give to an application that monitors Twitter. So no tool is perfect, and the dashboard does have its limitations. And the first one is the dashboard cannot post to both Facebook and Twitter at the same time, which is not a great challenge to overcome, because you can just simply cut and paste, and chances are your message for Facebook is going to be constructed different than constructing that tweet within a 140-character limit of Twitter. But if you have a short post, you cannot send it both at the same time. You have to cut and paste. The tool does take about 1 to 3 hours to set up for any weather service office. I provide code and documentation. Also been, fielding a lot of questions, so I'll help you out as much as possible. But there is a time investment of setting up the tool. And for posting graphics to Twitter, there is an extra step included. This is the dialog box that appears when you click on the dashboard. But if you want to attach an image, you just click on the Twitter icon. It'll take you to the Twitter page. Then you can just click on the quill icon, and then you can type in your post and attach your pictures. The second purpose of the dashboard is that it can serve as kind of a situational awareness display, and also as a warning verification resource. And what I did is that took all these online resources. The main ones are CoCoRa's, police, fire, and county scanners. They're fantastic sources for information. These are live police scanners that are streaming online. So counties that have them provided, all you have to do is turn it on and just monitor, and you can hear the 911 operator or the dispatch radioing out calls to the fire departments or to the police stations about removing trees off of roads or blocking off flooded roads. And you can hear all that information coming in live, and you don't have to bother the dispatcher. So these online police scanners are fantastic. Also, I know the South Carolina Highway Patrol is really good at putting some of the same information online, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But the utility companies with their power outage maps have really made their maps more useful over the past couple of years. They've placed them on Google Maps or some other zoomable map, and you can actually see an outline of where the power outage is taking place. And if you're doing post-warning verification, then it will give you a really strong lead of where to start making calls, because it will outline very precisely which roads are being affected. And also it provides a platform to display webcams. So let me show you our dashboard. It's under this section called SetAware, and here's our forecast area. You can see all the webcams listed as little webcam icons, or if you have a live cam, you can distinguish that with a different icon. But each one of these squares is a list, like we see here for Mecklenburg County, of potential online sources for verification information that apply to just that one county. So we have 46 counties, and our links are about 500 links, and each one of these lists are applying to just the utility companies, just the CoCoRaHS pages, just the scanners that are serving Mecklenburg County. And of course, if you click on the webcam, it will display the latest image that's available. So this is the way the South Carolina Highway Patrol displays their reports. So you can see that they list the tree in the roadway, what time it occurred, which county that's in, and what's the location. So on this particular day, you can see there's lots of trees in the roadway, but it will list power lines in the road, flooded roads, any type of information. And what we did is that we wrote a script that only applies to South Carolina, and I don't know if South Carolina is using a vendor that maybe another state is using. But the script goes out, it collects these certain keywords, and it makes a 60-day archive of this live data, so we can go back after the fact and review this information. So just the way things have really exploded, this information has really taken off over the past couple of years. Back in 2010, we had a Christmas storm that produced pretty significant snowfall from one side of our forecast area to the other. And basically from public reports and Skyrun reports and co-op reports, the most we could generate back in 2010 was 200 snowfall reports. But back in this year, just before Valentine's Day, we had another significant snow event. And through social media and going out to some of these media pages, Facebook pages, we were able to double the number of snowfall reports. So the information is getting more and more plentiful. I think the quality is just as good. So the more reports, the better everybody's being served. And for convective situations, this was an event that I was a radar operator. There was really just one storm in the area, but it was a stationary heavy rainfall producing thunderstorm near Clemson. And it occurred pretty late in the evening. You see the times on these LSRs start about 10:15, went all the way to about midnight. So already it's too late to be calling spotters. But by just monitoring the police and fire scanner for Oconee County, monitoring one media Facebook page, and looking at the South Carolina Highway Patrol collective, we were able to get numerous real-time reports without even needing to call anybody on the phone. We didn't need to bother the emergency manager or the 911 dispatch, where we're hearing all this information online. So again, I estimate that it takes anywhere between 1 to 3 hours to set up the dashboard. So if you're interested, you can email me at my address here, and I can open up the Google Drive to your email account, where you can find all the codes and the instructions to set up the dashboard. So just as a summary, there's also another section of the dashboard that integrates some social media search engines. The top one is called Topsy. It's a very handy tool. If you know there was some flooding in a certain area, you can just search out that town and the word flooding, and been pretty successful with finding tweets to verify warnings that way. But the dashboard is, one of its prime services is just organizing all these online resources into individualized county lists. It also makes it a handy way to display live webcam images. The dashboard emulates a lot of the features of Hootsuite and TweetDeck, but it does have the advantage over TweetDeck that it can be organized in tabs, when TweetDeck just has one long continuous string of these Twitter streams. It also provides a unique and efficient way to monitor Facebook, and basically the same display for monitoring your neighboring weather service office, both their Facebook and their Twitter displays. So this table is a kind of a quick comparison of the features of the social media dashboard compared to TweetDeck and Hootsuite, and you can see basically every category the dashboard provides either the same service or a superior service. So with that, I'll take any comments or questions or recommendations.
Thanks, Neil. Any questions?
Yeah, Neil, this is Peter Honored at Mid-Atlantic RFC. Is there a potential, instead of having things organized by county, having the RFC organize contacts by river basin?
I can't think of any reason why that couldn't be the case. You can have someone that specializes in GIS to maybe have an outline of the basin and
right.
just place an indicator in there. You can list only the resources that apply to that basin.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Neil, hi, it's Brian Moretzky from Eastern Region. How are you?
Doing good.
Question for you with the business manager transition that's ongoing right now. Have you experienced any problems with accessing Facebook or posting to Facebook? Have you tried posting to Facebook with the office account?
Using the dashboard or just in general?
Using your dashboard. Has the transition to business manager affected that in any way?
We've been able to log in to our Facebook page without the business manager, so I don't know if our account's still a gray account or it's been converted over yet or not. But
okay, I'll have to check with. I don't remember if your office did or not yet. So I don't think so, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I made a post about 2:30, and it was with the standard gray account.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens after that. So, thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you very much, Neil. Very interesting application. I think it has a lot of potential to streamline some operations.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.